What's up, every pony? Silver Eagle here from Ponyville Live. I'm joined here at BABSCon 2015 in San Francisco by a special guest, guest of honor, Tony Fleecs. How
Hello,
you doing,
everybody?
Sir? Hey, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so you're in a unique position as a guest of honor versus, say, the VAs and show staff in that you're actually also a vendor.
Yes.
Here at the convention. That's a really interesting thing. I noticed I saw your table downstairs, and I thought, so you're actually you could make some cold hard profit on this, huh?
Well, yeah, I think the voice actors can too. I just have to.
Of course, yeah.
I have to do my job, for it.
Sure.
Well, I suppose they do too. They often have to say things,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, do you do custom art that's just for these conventions?
I have in the past. I've been sort of like commissioned to do.
Yeah.
BronyCon hired me to do their program cover.
Oh, cool.
And Anime Convention in Sacramento hired me to do like a exclusive Ponies Attack on Titan print.
Nice.
But generally, the exclusive art is just sort of like commission based.
Right.
People hire me to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's because in comics, you go to a convention, you set up like that, and that's pretty much the whole thing. And the pony fandom is sort of like a different situation. So yeah, it is kind of different that I'm that I have VIP stuff to do, and also I gotta
exactly you gotta go back and man the table. Yeah. And this is an interesting thing. So I guess people who know of you out in the world would know of you as the you illustrated the covers of a number of IDW comics. Is that right?
Well, originally, I was hired to do covers. That's pretty much how everybody gets in on the book. But pretty quickly, I started doing interiors too. I've done I think a dozen issues now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I've been pretty busy. Next ones that come out are this coming week, the Origin of T-Rex issue of Fiendship is Magic, and I also did a Nightmare Moon issue of Fiendship is Magic.
Very nice. So how does that process work when you're building these comics? Do you essentially, because how does this compare? We know a lot about how the show works as far as how it's constructed with the storyboarding, and then somebody, you have all these people involved in the process. How many people are in that process for the comics?
Well, let's see. There's the editor.
Yeah. And
he hires writers based on pitches that they send in.
Yeah.
The writer would say, like, we're looking for something with, like, Fluttershy and characters, like background characters.
Yeah.
And the writers would send in, like, 10 pitches, and if he liked it, then they get hired to write the thing. So that's the editor, the writer, and then the editor assigns an artist. And generally, then there'd be a colorist, and that's always Heather Breckel.
Right.
And then there's a letterer who works at IDW, the in-house design department. And once he letters it, after that you're off to the printer. I don't know those guys at all.
Sure, it's
I believe they're in Japan.
The distribution process happens after that.
Yeah,
sure.
So 5 people.
Yeah, so it's a pretty condensed process. Yeah, from beginning to end. So how do you get commissioned in as one of those artists versus like out in the wild commission? Like, are you just on a list of artists that they can sort of pick from?
Well, I had a relationship with the editor, like a very sort of just like friendly, email each other. Send samples and stuff like that here and there.
Sure.
And so when Ponies came around, he hired me to work on the covers originally, and then, like I said, real quickly it turned into doing the whole book.
Scaled up from there.
Yeah.
Well, they've been kind of an unexpected success, I guess, originally, because it was a bit of an experiment in the beginning, right, to produce this comic series for a show that wouldn't normally have comic book buyers in its audience.
Yeah.
Right? And so that was the grand experiment, but it ended up paying off so well that they just keep issue after issue.
The great thing about it is that so many of the readers of the comic are new to comics altogether.
Exactly.
Like the kids, which I think here we're at a Brony convention.
Yeah.
And you tend to think like, well, all the people reading that book are bronies, but I would say probably like 70 to 80% of the readers of the comic are kids. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's because dads go into shops and they buy the comics for their kids. Every parent wants their kids to read comics. So
sure, yeah.
Every parent does not want their kids to read comics. Every nerd dad who reads comics already wants his kids.
Every parent wants their kid to read.
Yeah, right.
That's for sure. And that's kind of a long lost art, right? Is like this, just having like
gateway.
It's a gateway, exactly. Yeah, and then you get into all these other big fantasy adventure comics and all that, and so becomes the nerd.
Yeah,
that's how that happens.
So you get kids coming in that way, and then you got bronies coming in from the other side, who also might not have read comics before, and so it's this whole almost entirely brand new audience. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a lot
Yeah.
of. There's some crossover people that already read comics that are like, oh sweet, here's this cartoon I like.
Sure, yeah.
And so I can pick up the comic book too. But I think for the most part they're all new, which I really like.
Yeah.
And it feels sort of, you know, so much of what I do. I mean, the stories they're good stories.
Yeah.
But, you know, it feels more important to know that you're actually bringing people in and, you know, help kids learn how to read and stuff like that.
You're introducing them to a medium.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, not even just to one subject matter, but to the entire concept altogether. Yeah.
My buddies give me a hard time because I, you know, draw children's comics. I always go like, well, what are you doing to help? You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. You draw children's comics. Nobody ever got on to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sure somebody did.
I'm sure somebody did.
Sure,
I mean, but so he
I'm
doesn't.
sure his buddies gave him just as hard a time.
He didn't have to listen to him.
His friends, he was friends with the guys that wrote Rockford Files or whatever, and they're just like, that's for babies.
That's
friend.
for kids. You want write that for kids. Yeah, I got into the ebooks for them. They had that Humble Bundle that had all the Pony comics as ebooks, and I thought that was this really interesting thing because they're in such gorgeous quality.
Yeah,
the
colors are exactly like.
They're really precise and really clean and crisp. And is that how they're authored originally? Is digital now?
Yeah. Well, I do my layouts. I do digitally now, and then I ink them by hand on paper, and I scan them in, and then Heather colors them digitally again. So
okay.
So there is like a.
So you're switching a little bit. Yeah.
There's an actual drawn artifact. I guess I could probably do the whole thing digitally, but I feel better about I feel better about the control of doing it by hand, and also. You know, on the business side, it's nice to have something to sell.
Exactly. Well, yeah, because you can sell those original prints. Yeah, they don't get used up in the process at all. You just you hang on to them. Yeah, that's really neat. Is that the medium that you spend most of your time in? Is pen and paper?
I don't know. I should really keep track of what where all my time is spent. I have a workstation, and I just sort of go there. And sometimes I'm on the computer, and sometimes I'm on the tablet, and sometimes I'm on the table. But
yeah,
I would say it's probably 50-50 because the covers I end up coloring myself, so that taking a lot of computer time.
Gotcha. So you're split right down the middle then.
Yeah.
That's cool. You got a favorite? You got a preference? If you had to pick.
Yeah, I guess I like the sort of like the inking, the traditional part, just because it's sort of it's the part that I feel like I'm strongest at. Although I do like coloring. I like having colored. You know, people say like they don't like writing; they like having written. You know,
right.
You feel better at the
You don't like the process; you like the result. Right.
I like coloring when I'm right towards the end of it.
Sure.
But penciling and inking, I like pretty much the whole time.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't not like any part of it. My dream job. So.
That's awesome. Well, so you, unlike a lot of our other guests of honor here, you can be found on DeviantArt.
Yes,
you have a DeviantArt page, and that's not something we hear a lot of. We hear it a lot from
doesn't have a DeviantArt page?
Well, I mean, we hear it from our community guests a lot, but so you're on DeviantArt. What's your I don't know what
I'm pretty sure I'm just Tony Fleecs.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah, so people can find you there. Anywhere else that you've got stuff?
I'm on Twitter, just straight Tony Fleecs, TonyFleecs.
Awesome.
I have a website, fleecedesign.com.
Yeah.
I'm about to put up a big cartel page where people can buy original pages.
Oh, cool.
My wife is putting that together right now.
Nice. E-commerce kind of thing? You
can
actually go ahead. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for taking some time to talk with us today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, pleasure. Hope you have a great rest of the convention here in San Francisco. Hope it stays sunny and gorgeous. And
it could rain the whole time because I am just indoors.
You're sheltered
I'm in a
from
basement.
it. Yeah, it's air conditioned. You'll be fine.
It could blizzard. I would be just fine.
It could blizzard. I guess you guys. I guess you're not in Vancouver, right? No.
I'm down in LA.
I always think of everybody as being in Vancouver, so I just think, you're used to the cold. Well, no, not necessarily.
That's where ponies come from. Right?
That's where ponies come from. All right. Well, thanks again.
It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. So from Ponyville Live, this is Silver Eagle here at BABSCon 2015.